Hello, this is Tonneshea Davis. Wanted to share some of my thoughts today on preparing for marriage. I have heard numerous times from people who want to get married, especially women, who sometimes they have issues with their significant other, like they may not be cleaning the house or they're not doing something that they don't like, and their first inclination is to leave or to tell them, well, you need to leave or you need to go. um, and I have to ask, well, if you were but they do say that they want to be married. So in marriage, you have to go in without an exit plan. Many marriages don't work today because so many people say, well, we'll just get a divorce if it doesn't work. No, your vows are to death do you part. So you go in without an exit plan. Unless someone is abusive, figure out how to work it out. Sometimes you may have to go to counseling. And I would not necessarily recommend always going to your family or to your friends. Or if you are going to go to one of them, be sure that they themselves are in a healthy relationship. They have your best interest at heart. I mean, the best interest of your marriage at heart. Um, and that they're not going to go tell it to the world. So you have to have someone that you can trust. Some things that's in your marriage, it may be more than your family member or your friend can help you with, and you really may need counseling. Counseling doesn't mean that you're broken and that you're crazy. Sometimes you have to go to counseling for preventive maintenance. So, going back to my initial statement, if you're willing to leave this man because he don't take out the garbage or whatever your reason is besides abuse, are you really ready to get married? If you're married, you don't just leave because of that, and that doesn't stop you from loving them. Now, if these are things you just absolutely cannot live with, my suggestion is stop living with them, stop being with them. Why are y'all wasting y'all time? Also, your engagement, some people I've heard say, we'll get engaged and we'll be that for 5 years so we can see if we want to get married. No, 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 no. If you're not prepared to marry him or her right then, don't accept that engagement. Don't ask. um, yeah, don't ask. Your engagement should be the length of time that it takes you to plan your wedding. That's it. Not to see if you want to get married to this person. And even if you've been together for many years, my suggestion, still get premarital counseling. Not only can you, in some states, get a discount on your marriage license because you've had counseling, but it's to help you make sure you all are doing the right thing or that you have discussed everything like finances. What were your past abuses or traumas? Um, Sometimes in relationships, things don't always work out because you have two people from two different backgrounds kind of colliding. This one wanted that way. This one thinks their way is the best way. And the other one thinks their way is the best way. Sometimes both of your ways are good. However, it may not necessarily work for your household. So just because you were brought up a certain way doesn't mean that that works for your current household. Do what works for you, not what society says. Do what works for your household. And again, just don't go into a marriage with an exit plan. If you're going in with an exit plan, you're not ready yet. You are going into that with the notion of till death do us part. Um, I know the days of old, some of our grannies, our grandparents, they've been married for 50 years. You're not going to tell me that they didn't go through some stuff, and some of them even went through infidelity. I'm not saying infidelity is right. I will say that all things are forgivable with the help of Christ. And I know when somebody then cheated and they betrayed that trust, that is hard to get back. Trust, it takes just a moment to lose, and it takes eons to get it back. But it can be done if both parties help. So, for instance, if you were the one who cheated and your significant other, y'all decide to work it out, your significant other asks you, where are you going? Just tell them. This is to help ease their mind. I went through this before in a previous relationship, and I was like, don't just let my mind wander off in left field. Just answer my question, and I'll be okay. Now, the one who decided to stay, the one who was cheated on, you got a job too. You can't keep holding that over their head. I know you're going to have flashbacks. That is normal. Y'all could be having a good day, watching a movie or something, then all of a sudden, you got a flashback. But you can't keep holding that over their head. You have to do the work also to try to trust them. They have work to do, and so do you. But, I just wanted to share that because I hear so many people with these things, and it just, I don't know, it bothers my soul. I am all for family. And if I can, keep someone from going through a divorce or heading into the marriage with the wrong intentions, like, ask yourself, why do you want to get married? Is it because of what society says? Or is it because you really want to spend the rest of your life with this person? You have to really stop and think about some of these things. What are you doing? And if your reason for getting married is to please other people, that's not a good reason. Marriage, it's a covenant, it's a partnership, it's a ministry. Your spouse is your first ministry. And newsflash, your spouse come before your kids because your spouse is your other half. How can you neglect yourself? How can you neglect your health and be able to successfully help other people and help your children? You have to put your spouse first. You protect your spouse. You don't let anybody talk about your spouse. And this goes back around to being careful about telling people your issues, because once you and your significant other stay together, you've forgiven them, but your family and your friends haven't. They still remember. So you want to be very mindful. You don't want to talk to that friend that's going to encourage you to get back at them. You want to talk to that person that's going to encourage you to work on yourself and to fix, whatever problems. And sometimes you've done the work on yourself, but you got to be patient and pray for your significant other. They may not be on the level that you are. They may not have reached that yet, and you got to be patient, as hard as it may be. But if you're finding that this is just not the right place for me, you need to make that tough decision and move on. This person may be a very nice person, but they may not be the person for you. So you have some very tough decisions to make. That's all I got for you today. I love you. Be a light in somebody's world. Bye-bye.